नमस्ते। आज का ये सेशन एक टेक टूल के बारे में है और वो भी एक ऐसा टूल जिसमें समयानुसार एग्रो इकोलॉजी के एडवाइजरीज बहुत हाइपर लोकल तरीके से हजारों किसानों को जो आज के दिन दिया जा रहा है। हमें लगा कि बाकी सिविल सोसाइटी के साथियों को भी ये जानकारी होनी चाहिए कि ये कैसे हो सकता है और इसका असर भी क्या रहा है, क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा है। और मैंने WOTR के साथी जब उन्होंने सेंटर फॉर साइंस एंड एनवायरनमेंट का एक सस्टेनेबल फूड सिस्टम्स वाला कॉन्क्लेव में उन्होंने जब प्रेजेंट किया था, आई वाज रियली स्ट्रक by the fact that so many different details were already attended to by WOTR experts when they designed the tool and when they started deploying it on the ground. तो उस संदर्भ में हमें लगा कि across different platforms, including many people who are part of NCNF coalition, that it is time that we had a sharing session and understood from WOTR colleagues what their tool is about and what are the features, what has the experience been like. And they very readily agreed, and I'm thankful to them for the same. I request Dr. Nitin Kumbhar and Shri Ajay Shelke, who have kindly agreed to share on behalf of WOTR, to straight away begin the session without me coming in the way. हम WOTR के साथियों से ही सीधा सुनेंगे। डॉक्टर नितिन कुंभार और श्री अजय शेलके वो प्रेजेंट करेंगे। Are you able to unmute yourself? You're not able to? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now it's fine. Yeah.
Thank you for agreeing for this sharing session.
Pleasure.
Please do go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Kavita ji, for organizing this presentation of the FarmPrecise. So my colleague Nitin will have like a brief presentation and then we will have discussion. Okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Entire screen sharing. Okay. The screen is visible. Can you see our screen? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay. Yeah. First, I would like to thank you, Kavita ji, for connecting us WOTR and giving opportunity to present our work on weather-based agro-meta advisories. So first, I will just give a brief background about who are we. So Watershed Organisation Trust is a non-government organization established in 1993, and we are worked in 10 states of India. Presently, we are working in 8 states, and as of now, we have covered 75 districts and near about 7,200 villages. And we are working in three verticals: implementation, research, policy advocacy, training, and capacity building. In implementations, we are working in five thematic areas where land and water management, agriculture, livelihood, health, sanitation, and women empowerment. And doing research and policy advocacy on these thematic areas, basically to bridge the gap between science, practice, and policy. And whatever good things happenings on the ground, those are highlighting through our research and policy at various national and international forum, and capacity building of various village level institutions like SHG, farmer groups, or FPCs. And as of now, we have touched 7.9 million lives and restored about 3.83 million hectares of the land. And we have trained near about 7.5 lakh people for various activities. And we have established network of 72 farmer producer companies. So before I jump into the agromet advisories, structure of agromet advisory services, so first, we need to understand why there is need of agromet advisory services. If you see in past 1 decade or last 5 years, the impact of climate change is increasing year after year, and impact have on agriculture, livelihood, livestock, and if you see in the year 2024, about 4 million hectares of cropland is affected by climate extremes. And in the year, this current year, area is almost double. Around 8.9 million hectares of the land is affected by various climate extremes like high intensity rainfall, cloudburst, dry spell, then high temperature, cold waves. So this intensity is increasing. And secondly, if you see the variation in the rainfall is very high. Within a block, few villages receiving good rainfall, and few villages they don't receive good rainfall. And the variation in date of sowing within villages is also high. And these extreme climatic events actually affecting day-to-day agricultural operations of the farmer. So there is a urgent need or necessity to provide weather-based, precise, advanced, and timely information to the farmer, so they can plan their day-to-day agricultural operations and activity for various agricultural operations to reduce the crop losses to the certain extent. So this is the structure of the agromet advisory services. So we started this agromet advisory way back in 2010-11. So that time we used uh, chart sheet paper where we write down the advisories, and those papers we pasted on the walls of temple, gram panchayat, or dairy where generally farmers gather. Then we use this IVR systems where our field staff, para agronomist, agronomist, you disseminate agromet advisories through this loudspeaker system. And in the year, I think 2013, we established network of this AWS, Agromet Advisory Automated Weather Stations. And these from these automated weather stations, we get weather data like temperature, humidity, rainfall. This data comes to our server, and that data we send to IMD, India Meteorological Department, and they send us 3 days weather forecast. So using this 3 days weather forecast, and using this village level information like land, farm resources, soil type, crop, and indigenous and traditional knowledge, and we have developed this crop weather calendar with the help of agriculture universities and IMD. So using this weather data and this information, so experts sitting at the Pune office generated advisories, and these advisories we disseminated through various channels like SMS, wallpaper, and then we get a feedback from the farmers. So that feedback system is very essential to improve our advisory structure. So this is the our earlier structure of the agromet advisory services. Then in 2016, we developed this dashboard for a weather-based dynamic decision support system. So that dashboard is particularly developed for the IMD to atomize the process of advisory generation. Earlier, IMD sent advisories at a block, district level advisories and block level advisories. For that advisories, every expert needs to be sit together and generate the advisory. So that process was very time consuming. So in collaboration with the IMD, we developed this dashboard. This dashboard is helps to atomize this process of generation of the advisories, and they can generate advisory within one click, and they can disseminate advisories through in the form of bulletin. So we hand over and we piloted this in 3 states with the help of IMD, and then we train their people and we hand over to them for implementation. And in the year 2017, we developed this FarmPrecise. This is the mobile-based application. So with the support of the Qualcomm. So since 2016, we are using. So this FarmPrecise is application is participatory in nature, where farmers is the co-creator of the advisory. So this application is useful to generate dynamic weather-based crop management advisories. What happened? Many institutions, government organizations, they are providing advisories, but those advisories are at a block level or a district level. So those advisory may not be useful for the village level people, or because within a village there is a huge diversity. Some people sowing their crop on let's say 15 June, and some people farmers sowing their crop on 30th June. So there is a change in phenology of the crop. So one advisory is not advisable for all farmers. So this app is actually suitable to generate farm level advisory or crop specific or phenological stage wise advisory using the weather data of that periphery. So this app is having more than 9 features, and we have covered 38 crops. And this app is presently available for Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, and recently we released for the state of Rajasthan. So this is available in 5 languages: Marathi, Hindi, Telugu, Odia, and English.
Yeah, one more there.
Yeah,
We have also released it for like Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand.
Jharkhand.
So altogether around like 7
Seven.
states we have covered.
Yeah. Gee, what is it? Yeah, just some technical error. So screen is slides are not moving. Just
Correction. Mm. Share it high. Interesting.
yes.
Yeah. Morning weather. Mm. Sorry.
Sorry, some
Just,
technical issues. We are not able to change the slides.
No problem. We saw the screen just now, but the slide was not moving.
moving. Yeah, the slide is not moving actually.
We'll change it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So as of now, more than 1 lakh downloads of FarmPrecise in all states. For this app, as I said, means this app is participatory in nature, and farmer is the co-creator of this advisory. So this is because of this. After downloading this app from the Play Store, farmer has to select language. Then they needs to put their mobile number. So then automatic OTP is generated, and based on that, they have to select their gender. Then they have to select their state, district, block, and village. So this information is essential for providing this village level weather forecast to them. Then they have to select their crops. So they can choose multiple crops here, whatever crops in the field conditions. So they can select these crops. And for each crops, they have to select date of sowing, then plot size, then method of irrigation. So these information is mandatory because of this is the basic for the generation of the advisories. And once they register crop with all this information, then they will start the receiving advisories from the pre-sowing stage. So as I mentioned, means this app is having 9+ features. So first is the weather forecast for 5 days, then farm specific geofencing, then crop and farm specific advisories. So in advisories there are 4 to 5 sections. One is cultural advisories, irrigation management, nutrient management, pest and disease management. Then there is a calculator, fertilizer calculator, where farmers can calculate fertilizer doses. Then crop specific pest and disease library. Then there is a farmer interaction corner where community forum, support chat, and phone call service available. Then farmer diary where farmer can record their expenses. Then market, they can get market prices from nearby APMC. Then there is one section on news, government schemes, whatever new schemes or new information related to the agriculture, they can go through that section. Then livestock advisories, and now we are working on remote sensing and farm level advisories, and some AI features like AI chatbot is already in working. So these are the all 9+ features in there. So we will go one by one. So in weather forecast, we are providing weather forecast at two level. One is IMD weather forecast. This IMD weather forecast is at a block level, and open weather forecast. So this is interpolated forecast at a village level. So in forecast, farmers can get information about this rainfall, temperature, humidity, and wind velocity. So this 5 days weather forecast actually helps farmers to plan their day-to-day agriculture operations like plowing, harrowing, weeding, fertilizer application, irrigations. So these are some testimonials from the farmers from the Japrabad. So the farmer is saying, so after he receiving the advice or after he receiving the rainfall forecast at the harvesting stage, he harvest his crop and he save his crop. But he share this information with brother-in-law, but he not listened his advice, and he lost his crop. So this is the information which farmer can get from the
Are the others able to hear them? Can you show by some emoticon whether you are able to? No. Okay. Okay, we'll just wait for them to rejoin. It looks like they got dropped completely. Sorry about it. Sorry, we're trying to figure out what has happened. Nitin ji, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, something happening with our internet and uh, it's disconnecting.
Okay, please
Please
go
note,
ahead.
sir. Sure.
Yeah, okay. As I mentioned, so in advisories, we are focusing on eco-friendly and nature-based practices. So with the aim of reduce use of the chemical fertilizers, pesticides, how we can improve water use efficiency. So the advisories are focused in a such a way, so we can use whatever the resources available in a given ecosystem, so that farmers can use in a sustainable way and reduce their dependency on external inputs on like chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So in advisories, there are these are the five types of the advisories. So in app, uh, here you can see. So there are weekly advisories and daily advisories. So weekly advisories actually helps farmer to plan their activity based on this weekly calendar. And some farmers they want daily advisories, so they can receive daily advisories, at least alternate day advisories. And all these advisories, like irrigation advisories, nutrient advisories, and pest and disease management advisories, these are the dynamic advisories. So these advisories are linked to weather data like temperature, humidity, rainfall, and soil moisture. So, as we all know, that means how this chemical fertilizer used increased from green revolutions to till date. So, after the green revolution, at that time we need for the higher food grain production to meet the needs of that present generation. But later on, the use of this chemical fertilizer increased, and with the increasing this fertilizer use, the crop production is not increased to that level. So nowadays the fertilizer use is increased and crop production is decreasing. So sometimes excess use of this chemical fertilizer is happening. So with the aim of how we can reduce this excess use of the chemical fertilizers, we incorporated this fertilizer calculator. So this fertilizer calculator helps to reduce this excess use of the chemical fertilizer and actually helps to apply precise applications of the fertilizer based on the crop and soil types need. So in fertilizer calculator, there are two approach. One is recommended dose of fertilizers and second is STCR based approach, that is soil test crop response approach. In recommended dose of fertilizers, so the let's say if the farmers they don't have a soil testing report for their farm, like what is the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium content of the farm, those farmers can go for this recommended dose of fertilizers given by the uh, regional agriculture university. And those farmers having these NPK values for their farm, so they have to put this soil nitrogen value, soil phosphorus value, potassium value, then target yield and FOM. So based on these inputs, they can get a precise advisory for their farm. So they can get a various options for urea, SSP, MOP. So this fertilizer calculator, based on this soil approach, drastically reduce the chemical fertilizer usage. So farmer can save their cost here as well as beneficial for the environment. Then similarly, pest and disease management advisories. So in last, I think 10 years, with the climate change, the impact of the climate change and extreme event, pest and disease infestations are increasing. So many crops like cotton, maize, soybean, major pest infestation is happening, and it's very difficult to manage this pest. So the use of this pesticides, pesticides, then fungicides are increasing day by day. So in pest and disease management advisories, we are focusing on integrated pest and disease management approach. So in integrated pest and disease management approach, our focus is on you more focus on prevention. So various intercultural operations like plowing, date of sowing, use of the trap crops, intercropping, crop rotation, then seed treatments with endopathogenic fungicides like Trichoderma viride, then use of various traps like pheromone trap, yellow sticky trap, light traps, And you then use of botanical pesticides like NSK, then the Spurniark. So these are the eco-friendly measures of the pest control. So our aim is to first focus on these eco-friendly ways of the pest and disease management. And if the pest population cross the economic threshold level, then only go for this chemical pest control. Otherwise, we focus to push farmers to use this preventive pest and disease management control measures. So in app, there is a library. So pest and disease library where farmers can get exact idea about the images of the various pest and diseases. That actually helps them to identify the pest and their symptoms, and they get preventive and control measures of the pest. So this is one aspect. And the second aspect is we have provided this pest and disease forewarning using some algorithms. So these algorithms we are testing for few crops, not for all, but for 10 crops we are testing these algorithms. So these algorithms use village level rainfall data, temperature data, humidity data, and soil type and phenological stage. Based on that, these algorithms generate the possibility of upcoming pest and disease infestation. So that actually helps farmers to get advanced information about the upcoming pest and diseases. So they can plan their pest and disease management using this eco-friendly measures. So this is about pest and disease management advisories. Then extreme event advisories. So similarly, extreme events like dry spell, high intensity rainfall, high temperature, humidity. These extreme events actually affects the crop yield at a larger scale. Sometimes at the harvesting stage of the crop, this such kinds of extreme events entirely farmers lost their crop. So we are using this various weather data like temperature, humidity, rainfall, then dry spell. And using this data, we are correlating this data with the phenological stage of the crop. If any such circumstances happens, immediately farmers get advance information. Okay, this is the likely condition, and this is going to happen in next 3 or 4 days. If your crop is at this stage, then you have to manage a crop like this. So this advanced information helps them to prepare for upcoming such incidences, so they can reduce their losses to the certain extent. So these are the some few examples. Like this is first example is the for in next 3 days there is a possibility of heavy to very heavy rain. So strengthen your bunds and create a passage for a remove excess water. So such types of advisory actually helps them to reduce their crop losses due to this extreme rainfall. So this feature is there. Then Krishi Manch and Community Forum. So this is a very useful feature for the farmer, where farmer can um, take a photograph, whatever pest and disease infestation or whether it is physiological disorder. They can take a photograph and post that photo into the forum, where experts sitting in the Pune office reply to that query. And whenever we are replying query, our focus is on seeing the severity of that pest and disease infestation. We recommend the type of control measure. If the infestation is very less, then definitely we recommend the eco-friendly measures of the pest control. And if the severity is very high, to avoid the economic losses of the farmer, then we recommend only label claim pesticides. So I think daily we receive in seasons like Kharif season, we receive daily 50 to 100 photographs. Then there are some features like farm diary, where farmers can record their expenses from land preparation to the harvesting of the crop. For harrowing, plowing, then what is the cost of sowing, what is the cost for seed, various intercultural operations. So they can get exact expenditure for their particular plot. Then there is a feature where mandi prices, where they can get mandi prices from nearby APMC. So they can take a decision whether they need to sold their crop at this price, or they needs to hold their production for a few days. So nearby APMC, they can get a daily update on these market prices. So with the distance from their place. Then there is a feature where they can get a update about the various news related to the agriculture sector, agriculture exposure, then various schemes related to the agriculture, government schemes. So they can get advance information here. And now recently we incorporated this livestock advisory. So basically, livestock advisory, we are just providing this static information for uh, what is the symptoms of the various diseases and what are the control measures. So they can get idea based on the symptoms and they can manage these diseases at home. So I just hand over to Ajay sir for next year.
So as we have given the geofencing of the farm facility in the app, so those farmers are like geofencing their farm. We are using remote sensing data, this imageries or like various indices like NDVI, NDMI, then moisture index to give certain insight about their farms to the farmer. So based on remote sensing data, we provide those advisories to the farmer when to irrigate and that kind of what kind of a soil moisture situation in his farms and those kind of this. See, currently we are working on this remote sensing data extensively so that we can provide more precise advisories. So currently we are gathering some information with regard to weather, the satellite imagery, the ground practices, and all these things. So as we can use this information to get like a better insight using advanced technologies like AI, modeling, and those kind of stuff, which will be incorporated in this application in the later stage. Yeah. So this is kind of an example. If you can see the two images. So left is about like using NDVI data, vegetation index. So it gives you some insight, like if there is a like a reddish portion, based on that, we can ask farmer key whether there are some issues in the farm, please go and check. So he can observe his farm. On the right hand side, you can see the soil moisture status of that particular farm. So the soil moisture is also not uniform across the farm. So wherever there is a slope or the steep. So based on that, like you will get a certain insight. And currently we are working on this, how to communicate these things effectively to the farmers. Next, please. So besides this, recently, we have also incorporated this AI-based chatbot in this thing in the application where we have used the entire knowledge base which we have built for generating this various kind of advisory. And if farmer asks any question, so considering all those contextual information, it respond to the queries. And it has got like a voice option also. We have incorporated certain APIs so that farmer can speak in any language and it can be recorded and he can read back or like listen to the response generated to the that AI. So these are like some of the recent developments with regard to this application. So thank you, and now we can go for like if anyone has any queries or questions, we are happy to answer.
Great. Thank you so much, Ajay ji and Nitin ji. What got communicated very clearly is that it has multiple features, that the number of downloads have actually increased over the years, that some farmers are reporting that it has made a significant impact on their farm livelihoods. And you have also said, though maybe you can explain some more about how farmers themselves are involved in the advisories, how it is actually participatory. There are several questions that have come into the chat box already. We have kept all participants muted, after a few recent experiences of intruders just walking in and so on. I will take the names of some of the colleagues who have already put in some questions in the chat box. There are also some questions that had come in when people registered. More than 190 people registered for this session. Some 8-9 questions from there are what I'll pick up and present here. So I will begin by requesting Kedar Eshwarji. You can unmute yourself from Odisha. He had a question. Kedar Eshwarji, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kedar Chaudhary, and I am leading a non-profit organization called Darbar Sahitya Sansad, DSS. It's a pretty old organization, and we are working with the women, poor women, Dalit women, tribal women, women workers, agri workers, women farmers. We have been working with them in the livelihood space and all allied like disasters, migration, those spaces. We have promoted around 12 farmer producer companies. And prior to that, we were forming self-help groups and trying to raise the income of the women by.
Kedarji, if you can stick to the question, please.
Yeah, question is that I wanted to know that this app, when one register with the app, I wanted to know it that whether it is a paid app or it is a free app. Or second thing is that if it is a paid app, that what amount the farmers has to provide, because nowadays a lot of agri apps are coming and they are promoting the apps solutions. So first thing, second thing is that advisory, if it is a one-way advisory or both-way advisory, farmers can ask questions and get interaction way. So that is my question.
Thank you.
Okay. So the app is totally free. So currently, it is a kind of a project under which we are funding this initiative, and this is completely free. So there is no charge for the farmers for registering for this application. So second, your second question is about like a participatory. So as we have mentioned, there is a one section called Krishi Manch, that is community forum. So through that, farmer can connect with us by raising any issues they are facing, including the photograph, they can post it, and the experts can respond to that queries. And there is another facility we have given, like a phone facility is also there. So farmer can directly call to agriculture expert and get his advice. So in this way, it is a two-way this thing. Certain things which we need to get it from the farmer. If we needs a kind of what we can say to some extent precise advisory. So the sowing date to this food crops and other crops is a crucial. So that is, if that is a correct, so all those configuration could be made and accordingly advisory. Also, advisories in this platform are generating automatically based on various parameters. As Nitin mentioned, there are like various parameters, weather information. So based on your location and other aspects, it pick up that forecast and give you some alerts with regard to extreme weather, or like there is one indication gives the app gives about like the suitable time for spraying also, because during this time if the wind speed is like very high, so your pesticide application may not be effective. So those kind of small tips also we can push based on the weather condition in this application.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you. There's, I'm picking up questions from the box first, and Yogeshji, we will come to you. I see your hand raised. We will take the question of Shrikanta Mohanty, and let me say from Asha Kisan Swaraj also, we don't look at chemicals as a last resort also. In the agroecology paradigm of natural farming and organic farming that we all advocate, we believe that chemicals can be done away with completely, not even as a last resort. There was a question from Shrikant Mohanty along similar lines. Mohanta, sorry. Please go ahead, ask. You can unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So actually, you have already asked my question. So my concern is that when we are trying to promote the non-chemical things in all our agriculture practices, so can this app be helpful in that regard? So that's my question.
Thank you. For several of us, it's a critical question. We'll hear from Nitin.
Okay, see, if you see current status of many farmers in many states of the India, presently they are using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, okay, at the maximum level, excess using. So it's very difficult to stop them immediately and shift them within a one transition from whatever they are
So,
using to the zero.
Nitinji, sorry that I'm butting in. That's the way WOTR approaches the problem of transition from chemical agriculture to non-chemical agriculture, which
Correct.
is, which is all right. But the question really is this tool, is FarmPrecise application amenable to only natural farming related advisories? Because
Yes.
if it's been set up for only particular kinds of advisories, many participants today will find it difficult to take crop management advisories from this app. So is this amenable to them putting in natural farming related advisories onto the app? That is the question.
Yes, definitely. Already we have registered some crops like cotton crop, organic cotton cultivation. So this is possible. We can enable such kind of advisory for if there is a demand from large group of the farmers and they want specifically this natural farming advisories for the particular crop. So definitely we can inbuild those kind of the advisories in app.
Yes.
Sounds great. Thank you for that.
These advisories can be configurable. So we can configure that crop, like say natural farming. So cotton natural farming, we can means mold it the crop advisory in that form. We can treat it as like a separate crop. And while registering, we can if farmer can select that crop. So all the related advisory which are given by you, the practices could be disseminated at various stages.
Right, thank you. So many of us are not only looking at reduction, but supporting farmers who have transitioned as well as who want to transition completely, fully. We have Sejo Singh, Anant Krishna, Dr. Etirajan, Yogesh, Rajneesh, Sunil Rajan in that order. I'll first invite Sejo to please ask her question. Sejo, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I've already downloaded the app, but then I got stopped in my tracks by friends who said, what about data? Data privacy. So if you can please assure us, where is the data held? Because this is the common method that all the other agri-tech companies are doing to gather data from farmers. And since you are also participatory, which means we will be sharing a lot of data with you. Thank you so much.
So we are following like a data security practices. So the data, the app and the data is hosted on a like a secured cloud servers, Amazon services, and which is hosted in India. And as you aware that like since the application is being hosted on a like a Google Play Store, so we have to follow all data security and other norms given by the Google. So every time we this thing and we basically do not share any data to the third party or any this thing. Only for our internal this thing, we will be, for providing advisory, this data is used. And certain parameters like mobile numbers and this thing, even internally also, we hide those details. So the personal information of any this thing is not being shared with anybody. Yeah.
Thank you for that. But the debate, I think, around apps, data, and so on is slightly more deeper. What we consider as non-personal data, for instance, land details, land, soil type, crop, and so on, we assume that it is non-personal, but most kind of monetization possibilities are actually happening on that non-personal data also. And consent related issues, there are some queries that I think we have to be additionally careful about in the civil society. I'm sure WOTR is sensitive to all those things.
Yeah.
May I request Anant Krishna to please go ahead, ask his, yeah.
Thanks, Kavita. Anant here from Shekru in Vidarbha. My question was on weather forecast because during the 4 months of the monsoons, the weather systems are quite dynamic. And we have seen with quite a few apps over the last 4 or 5 years, as a lot of apps have come in and done weather forecasts. And IMD has been completely hit or miss here. And a lot of people have lost their credibility trying to forecast weather. So my question is, are you showing the accuracy of your forecast? And is there a feedback mechanism where the local people are saying, hey, what I'm reading in the app is not what is on ground in front of me, so that you can improve your forecast over time? Because that is something that I've not seen many apps and other sources incorporate that loop and build on the accuracy of the forecast, because it's quite hit and miss right now. I mean, we have seen over the last monsoon here in Vidarbha also, it's all over the place, the weather forecast. So my worry is, since you're building on top of that with advisories, that a lot of times we could go wrong because the weather system didn't happen micro locally. So what is your feedback mechanism? Who holds the liability if it's a bad forecast, the farmer sprays whatever when it comes to agrochemical context, especially if the advisory has agrochemical sprays and all that? Who holds the liability, and how do you complete the loop to make sure you're continuously improving to what we are putting out there? Thank you.
Yeah, would you like to? So basically, for the weather forecast, we are relying on the third party, especially the IMD. So since it's a national this thing, and we are using their block level forecast in our application. And in that context, like we are, because all you must be aware, the weather forecast is very complex phenomena, and that expertise doesn't lie with us. So whatever data is available in the public domain or through IMD, which we are getting, we are using that. And our experiences shows that like over the years, since last 15 years, we have been working with IMD. So from the district level, now they have come up to the block level, and we could see the improvement in the weather forecast over the years. Their block level forecasts are like means we are also doing some comparison versus like observed versus the forecasted which IMD has given. So earlier also we have given we have conducted some studies based on the forecast which we have received this thing. And in those cases, we have got like accuracy of the, especially the rainfall and this thing, which ranges from 50 to 80%. So it depends upon the geography also. In the hilly areas, we got like accuracy to some lower this thing. But in the plains, we could see the good accuracy. And we have to rely on this since it is not this thing, and certain high-end accurate products with regard to forecast are like a commercial products. If we can see like IBM weather or this thing, which we cannot afford because it is a kind of a this thing free service we are providing. But the mechanism which we have created, as the accuracy of the forecast go, those advisories are like a more, I mean, it's useful for the farmers. So that's what I can say.
So, Anant, in case you had missed the presentation from the beginning, data from their AWSs is also feeding into getting, hyperlocal forecast possibility. They're not depending entirely on IMD using its other sources for data collection alone. Am I correct, Ajay ji, that you have your own automated weather stations from where the data?
Very few stations. I mean, if we can look at the scale, so as compared to the state and this thing, we have like a minimal station. Wherever it is available, we are integrating that observed data into the application. So for that locality, you will get access to accurate observed weather data, but the forecast will again, like we have to depend on the external sources.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dr. Ethirajan, uh, you can unmute yourself. Dr. Velu Ethirajan.
Yes. Good afternoon. Really, it is a very nice presentation. FarmPrecise is one of the good app, which I am from Tamil Nadu, which we like to use it. So I thank WOTR and the team organizing. They have given a very nice presentation. Really worth. We are also working towards farmers. It is our company Plow Pro, working with contract farming and farmer services. I would like to ask a few questions which would be useful for the farmers as well as for the insights for our team. Yeah. The first question, what I interested is, so you are identifying soil moisture. The soil moisture, how do you assess soil moisture? How it will be useful for the farmers?
Dr. Ethirajan, just shoot all your questions in one go. Just finish your
Yeah.
questions, they'll respond.
Fine. The primary question is, how do you assess soil moisture? How it will
Okay.
become beneficial to the farmers?
Right. So with regard to soil moisture, so
Yes,
we basically rely on the satellite data, as I mentioned. So based on the standard indices like moisture indices and this thing, currently we are working on that. Okay.
Okay,
So, but in the monsoon season, there is a like a due to cloud cover, sometimes the data is not available. So we have to use some other sources also. So currently
Yes,
we are working on those products which will
I see.
estimate soil moisture based on the data which we are collecting from our
Okay.
the project area, and we are in the process of like identifying and building those models. So at present, we are using standard indices, which are like a proven using those satellite imageries, various products. We are generating those indices, and from that we are assessing the status of the soil moisture.
Yeah.
So,
One
and
more
that,
question.
Dr.
Excuse me. One
Ethirajan,
more
please
question.
ask all your 2-3 questions in one go.
Only one question.
Yeah.
Whether it can be possibly used along with the AWS.
Yes, that's what means our next this thing. AWS means automated weather station, you mean to say.
Correct.
Yes, the hybrid model could also be used. So currently we have installed,
Fine, sir.
for soil moisture sensors. We are observing that data. Also, we are collecting some ground samples, measuring the soil moisture manually. This is to calibrate our like products based on the like satellite and the ground observation. But we are
Okay,
also
sir.
working on like a hybrid model. So the soil moisture sensors will send the data, and accordingly advice could be given for the irrigation and all.
It's a
Thank you.
great thing. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yogesh ji, you can unmute yourself, please. Go ahead.
Namaskar to everybody. I am Yogesh Dwivedi and I am representing Madhya Bharat Consortium of FPOs. So we are working in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And thank you so much for WTR and Asha Swaraj for organizing this good event. In fact, we are already, we have just started a project with a startup actually, which is working in Madhya Pradesh, AgriDoot. So just we wanted to actually understand actually because what are the comparative benefit from this model actually they have that our gentleman is suggesting. So just wanted to know whether do you have um, crop specific alert mechanism means what here in our cases what that our guy suggested if any insect or disease actually if it is appears in any part of the farm actually any part of not the whole farm in so there will be some alert actually it will because that image actually it will be captured through these satellites and message will come to the farmers directly actually ki there is a in this part actually there is a problem infestation so our guys actually he along with farmer will go and observe. So do you have that type of mechanism in your app? That is number one question. And another actually what in our cases since we are promoting this chemical free agriculture actually just without solutions without which is not based on the chemical. So for every crop actually so crop advisory all suggestions is coming on the natural methods actually the natural control methods and biological control methods see how we can so this time and regarding this moisture meter actually in our cases I don't know just wanted to understand from you they said ki there is would be mechanism of photospectrometer actually so some rays actually through satellite it will go enter into the soil actually through image and then automatically and they will also put some sensor in the field actually so they will get the moisture status of the soil so just wanted to your views actually and last question is that what are the charges is any charges actually are you charging for your facility. So, thank you so much just I wanted to know actually so we can compare which is actually better for us actually we are working in Madhya Pradesh country we start 3,000 farmers we are already applying this app actually Krishi Doot Agri Doot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So with regard to your first question, so currently that mechanism is not there based on like identifying any pest outbreak in any part of the farm. But as I mentioned, we are using remote sensing imageries just to use those indices, so which gives you certain indication. But we cannot say this part of farm is like we also not in a position to identify the exact stress in the plant, whether it is biotic or abiotic. So that is work in progress, I could say. But our aim is to give like a precise advisory. So our main aim is like a precision farming, uh, without any this thing like installation of soil moisture or any other this thing. How we could give like a precise advisory using the satellite imagery or other data sets. So currently that is work in progress. So we are working on that. With regard to your second question about like a soil moisture, it is the same. So we are working on that, like research is going on. And thirdly, the app is free. You can use it, download it, and you can use it. And we can provide like if you need any like capacity or like a demonstration, live demonstration of the app, that we can organize online like this through Zoom or this thing, and we can provide live demonstration of the app features to the group of farmer or your staff.
And a question regarding this nature-friendly practices, natural farming, that definitely we can incorporate it into the app. So there is no issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rajneesh ji,
Hello.
please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much for the presentation. I just wanted to ask if any organization is promoting any kind of climate resilient agriculture practices, let's say regenerative practices with some specific package of practices, and they want to use this FarmPrecise app for the advisory, and the organization also wants to get the data of those farmers, specific farmers, with whom they have started the practices, and to basically observe and improve the practices, what can be added or what can be removed, like that. So, is that possible? And if yes, how we'll move ahead with this?
At present, this arrangement is not there, but we are exploring that with some of our like farmer producer organization, like means the data of their member farmers, if they can ask. So we will have like those data, this thing, agreements, NDA, and all those. This is specifically for like identifying and like promoting like practices, identifying farmers which are having some issues in their farm. So that we are working in some of our APOs. Basically, we have also means introduced some APO related features in this app, which we have piloted. It is not like open this thing, but this gives some facility to a farmer to raise his demand. Like if you want to sell something like the produce, for example, he has got like a 10 quintal of maize. So he can notify to the related FPO through this application. Secondly, on the other hand, FPO also can raise a demand. So like I can have the ex FPO is having like a requirement of like a 10 ton of maize or soybean. So that can also be shared with the farmers. So we are currently working on that model, and we will definitely explore this. We can discuss and explore the possibility of those kind of arrangements. But we haven't means done before such kind of sharing or something.
Thanks for that. There's that request coming in the chat box also that, some might want live demos and so on. If you can leave your contacts in the chat box for people to take it. Sunil Ranjan from Vasan, please go ahead.
Thank you, Kavitaji and team on WTR for hosting this call. And I have basically three questions. First one is that apart from this IMD data, how are you like managing and processing the dynamic data at the field level? Like was talking about this, you are co-creating this advisory with farmers. So I want to know about in detail maybe the field level processing of data. Second one is what is the geographical area coverage for each like advisory you are forecasting or you are providing to farmers? And third question is like you was talking about this, you were working on the static data on livestock. So have you also tried on the dynamic data like diseases breakout or any other epidemics, and how you're how you have if you have already worked on that, you can also share that. And last question is this: since we are working in Jharkhand and Odisha in travel pocket in similar to this project, so in case there is poor network or unavailability of network, how can we communicate this advisories to those difficult areas or difficult terrain? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So the feedback mechanism, I mean, it's the co-creation, why we can say like if farmer needs like a good advisory or like accurate advisory, he has to contribute something. Means basically, I mean, inputting his information about his farm or soil. If he needs like a optimum dosage of fertilizer or this thing. So it is a co-creation, and the feedback mechanism like co-creation means he can demand certain this thing like through the community forum he can raise his queries, and he can connect with the this thing, and he can get information from what he is expected to this thing. So that way it is a, we call it as a like a participatory or a co-creation this thing. Secondly, with regard to the IMD, you mentioned periphery, the data and the thing. Basically, we use the Basically the weather forecast, if we consider, so the block as a administrative unit, we have considered as per the IMD's sources, we get that data and we have incorporated that. So through the formal, what we can say MOU, so this data is seamlessly integrated into our system. Secondly, to some extent, we are also using the publicly available data, as
Open.
Nitin mentioned, open weather. So it is a available data, and we have reviewed that wherever possible, we can get that data also. And thirdly, if we have installed our own weather station, so that weather station data we are integrating into the application, and we mark the periphery for that data to say like 3 to 4 villages among in the periphery of that weather space. So currently we are following that mechanism for using the weather data especially. And with regard to livestock, so this is a basic attempt we have made with this thing like ethno-veterinary cattle. These are like a static, but here we have worked on from symptoms how farmers can identify the disease and generate or create some make available some ethno-veterinary practices from the locally available resources. That information we have gathered. But certainly, with regard to the weather-based certain aspects, that is in our list. But I don't know, Miss. I can't say when it will happen. But it is in our like a priority list. We'll be working on it. Thank you.
Thank you. We have 5, 6 more people and some more questions in the chat box.
Yes.
Rajesh Jhaji, please go ahead.
Yeah. First off, thank you, WOTR and Asha, for arranging this meeting and this app. While listening to your presentation, I myself downloaded that app and registered as a farmer. So my question is not from as far as crop is concerned. My question is limited to livestock. Since this app is already active in Jharkhand now, and in Jharkhand, mostly people do with the small ruminants like goats and pigs. So, are you planning to incorporate all those things? Of course, the practices would be a nice thing than going for vaccination and other things. Since I could see I am working in Jharkhand and mortality in goats is very high. So if we can include, I could see only cow and buffalo was there only.
Yes.
So can you add? Are you planning to add small ruminants?
Yeah,
like
small ruminants we are planning to add into this thing. So besides, initially we have incorporated only cattle like buffalo and cow. But we will be definitely working on the small ruminant information on this thing. And certain, besides this disease information, we have also incorporated this vaccination and milk detail into the application. You can record and the vaccination details and listing. It is just a kind of a memo. You can store your information about the cattle in this. But certainly we will definitely working on it.
Thank you. That would be wonderful. Again, I'm just my next question is related with the Sunil Ranjan from Washington. No? He has asked the third question. Since in Jharkhand, there are some regions we don't have a good,
Internet
internet connectivity.
Yes.
So can we, offline we can raise query.
Offline, it is a kind of hybrid thing. So to get the updates, you need the internet connectivity. For example, if you are a non-profit working in certain area, at the block or anywhere there is a range, the advisories are updated in this thing, and that we can take it to this thing which could be available offline. But the updated information is dynamic information will not be available this thing. In certain cases, we have to see some other mechanism to disseminate that information once in a week or something. So the weekly advisories we can generate and that could be disseminated in the remote areas. So
Yeah, thank you. Thank you from Center for World Solidarity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajeshi. Dwijendranath Guru, did you want to?
Yeah, hi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the presentation, sir. Just had 3 questions in the chat. Actually, I have to look it up myself. Just give me a second. Apologies for that. Yeah. So I was wondering if the addition of new crops can be configured by an organization. So like you were saying, it can be configured. So I'm wondering if it can be configured for an organization. Like one of the other questions came up. Can we use it for our organization? So similarly, so if I want to add, let's say, a specific intervention with a specific philosophy for my farmers, the farmers that I work with, so would that be possible in the current application? 1. And 2, do you also publish area or pest movement or development, disease development trends in a specific geography or in a specific time frame? And then the third one was that what are the sources of these advisories? Like, do they come from POPs of certain universities, SAUs, or how? What is the source of these advisories? Thank you.
Let's start with the last question.
So for that source of advisories, we have our own core team here, and we are referring literature from state agriculture universities and ICR. So whatever recommendation given by ICR and state agriculture university, we are following for those standards for the advisories. Then secondly, regarding this pest and disease movement data spread and trends. So at present, as I earlier mentioned by the Ajay sir, it's we are working on it. It's not in app for a prediction of pest and diseases exact at what location of the plot. But at present, we are using some algorithms for few crops and few pests just to give advance information for the farmer. Okay, this is the congenial conditions in your area for the their likelihood infestation of this pest. So this kind of alerts we are sending to the farmers. So farmers get advance information and they may be prepared for this upcoming pest and disease infestation. So this is pilot testing. We are doing this for 10 crops.
Okay. Yeah, my question was actually macro, not within a field, but rather in a geographical area.
Macro, the track of like
macro
a
track.
paste.
So yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
No, that is not there. I mean, so some information that I think those plantics might be having those this thing because they track like a lot of information about the pest outbreak and all.
Right. So I think this question about, agroecological advisories is something that many people here will be interested in, and that's a whole area of work, I guess, including getting experienced practitioners to be in the group of people who uh, articulate the advisories, who create the advisories to be put out. I think that's something that will be truly participatory, and in an agroecology setup, I think we do have to fall back on experienced practitioners, and the knowledge required doesn't quite exist with ICAR and SAUs and others. We have Suhas Tai, Dr. Suhas Kolhekar. You can unmute yourself.
Yes,
Go ahead.
thanks, Kavita. Yeah, earlier I had put a short question requesting if you provide advisory for crop planning and seeds to be used. I have later put it in a more specific way. Recently, in the Marathwada region of Maharashtra, which has been drought prone as an impact of climate, climate crisis, we had heavy rains, the topsoil has been washed off, and we need to help those farmers to re-establish their farming. So we were wondering whether there are people, experts, of course, like Kavita and all, but also some mechanism that can help us in that. For the entire crop planning, and specifically I'm asking for seeds because in the markets, earlier in Maharashtra, in some area, some seeds were given which they did not disclose are GM, and it was GM brinjal. So we had to intervene for such encroachments by the companies. So how can you help us in these kind of problems? Thank you.
Yeah, so regarding your first question, so that crop planning is not considered in the app itself because that advisory is generated after giving inputs of the date of the sowing. So that crop planning is not as a part of this app. But your second question is related to this related to the variety. So we have given emphasis on varieties. Those are the short duration, less water requirement variety, pest and disease resistant varieties. These informations we have given into the package of practices or for each crop. So that if you have some information related to the varieties, if you share this information with us, we will just validate that information and we will incorporate it, these informations to that specific crop. So that is one possibility is there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll get in touch later.
Yes.
I will just read out some 3-4 questions that have come in from people when they had registered. One question is, what are the key drivers and barriers of adopting, these kinds of advisories? Was one question. Key drivers and barriers. The second one is really about what Anand Krishna raised already, which is about accuracy of data, because the weather data itself not being accurate, and we put it out. Along with it is the crop management advisory as the second layer, and the farmer actually incurs costs to do something as per that advisory. There is a issue about the mismatch, inaccuracy, if you like, between what is put out and what is actually observed and happening. So the second question was also around, a bit about liability, a bit about what do we do to make this all more accurate. A third question was about, is there anything that you will have readily in an app like this, where there's a sudden extreme weather event? Would your advisories actually be able to address such they called it weather attack when they wrote sudden weather attack is the term that they used, but I'm assuming that they're talking about, will this really be dynamic enough to help farmers in extreme weather events? And are you integrating ethno-meteorological techniques? Are you capturing traditional community weather prediction knowledge systems that exist? Is it possible to do so? Someone talked about ethno-veterinary advisories, but this is about ethno-meteorological advisories. And I'll read one more question, stop there, then take up the next set of questions later, which is that, no, I think the next question is related to what do you do for extreme weather? Please go ahead, Ajay.
Yeah. So with regard to drivers and barriers of adopting these advisories, I could see it as like a outreach perspective. I mean, some of the farmers and the drivers are basically we from our experiences we could see there is a information available, means any the information which is available in the application, if any farmers can use it, we can consider that not 100% advisories will be followed by the farmers or something, but certain things whatever 10-20%, it will definitely help that farmer. So the objective of this application is basically on the two objective. One is like a reduction in input cost, and secondly improve the productivity. So the advisories which we have crafted in that manner, and which has been disseminated. Second thing is wherever there is, we can see a good promoter or like a good extension person who can take this to the farmers. If he is like a good, he's convinced himself or herself, then it can be reached out to the farmers, and farmers are adopting this thing. That is our experiences. Barriers basically again need some hand holding and this thing initial hand holdings to train farmers to use this application. Once they are used to, they can explore this. And secondly, the young generation is pretty fast. The young farmers are exploring various features in the app, and they are trying to do something new, which is not like a traditional, we can say. So in some of our areas, some of the farmers have growing they look for information for some cash crop or something, so they are growing that dragon fruit and those kind of this thing. They are doing some experiments. So there are a certain farmers are also of that. But means these are some of our experiences over the years. Secondly, data accuracy means the effectiveness of these advisories will improve with the data accuracy, and wherever possible, we can use or rely. For example, incorporating our own weather data kind of a this thing on in the application. And thirdly, as I mentioned, so currently we are working on a research project in different clusters in Maharashtra covering various agroecological zones, where we are gathering this information, including local weather, the soil, the crop, the farming practices, and this thing. That will help us into come up with a more precise advisory using this historical or the database which we are building on to generate precise advisories. And the next is about extreme weather.
So for that extreme event, we have classified weather into different 10 classes. So in your classes, if weather conditions fall into the any of these 10 classes, immediately notifications or advisories goes to that particular farmer. So this classes based on the rainfall, temperature, humidity. So, there is a combination, permutation and combination of these classes. So immediately farmer get advance alert and information. Okay, this is the situation and this is going to the happen. So your crop is in this stage. So you need to take these actions. So these alerts farmers are getting.
But at the end of the day, it is also means based on the accuracy of the data.
Weather forecast, yeah.
The accurate data will get those alerts and this thing. And thirdly, the traditional this thing we can explore this. How we can with regard to the group which are focusing on a traditional practices and this thing, how this advisories could be, the platform could be used, but advisories could be generated or crafted by the expert and could incorporate, so they can get based on the crop stages and other this thing. They will get that information. We can disseminate this through app, but we can explore how we can work together to make it happen.
Right, thank you. From the next set of questions, I'll pick up only one question. I think the others have been asked in other ways, the same questions. The one question that the agroecology community will be interested in is that can you imagine the content being suitable to mixed cropping situations? Because in an agroecological farm, in a natural farming farm, it's actually mixed cropping that sustains it. Can you imagine your advisories being tailored for something like that? And secondly, the same person has asked, can it be as localized as an advisory to my farm, to one plot? Can you see the app going there?
Okay. Regarding first question, that mixed cropping. So as of now, we have not uh, developed advisory in that context. But there is a possibility, not a mixed crop, but intercropping system. We can definitely develop advisory for that intercropping system. So in mixed cropping, if there is a crop more than 3 or 4 crops, then it's very difficult to provide advisories to the mixed cropping. But we can consider which is the main crop. If there is a main crop, we can highlight which is the main crop. Then based on that main crop, we can provide the advisories. So that is possibility. And second question,
Farm-based advice.
yeah. So now presently, whatever advisories we are providing, if farmer provide exact date of the sowing, what is the method of irrigation, and what is their soil nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium content, then advisory is definitely generated to that particularly for that farm.
Adding to the so the products with regard to the remote sensing, if the farmer can geofence, then certain insights will be taken from the satellite products and could be given like a precise advisories based on the algorithm. Yeah.
Right. So I think, what we have heard so far is very promising. There are some concerns that have been flagged. And these are concerns that, raise not just some legal questions about personal data, non-personal data, privacy, consent management, all those things. But it is also about, this particular agroecology community finding that there's, no ready tech tools that are actually putting out the right kind of advisories with the cognition that there is a knowledge politics out there. And not giving enough space for farmers' knowledge, the practitioners' knowledge, and making it suitable for the natural farming context. These seem to be some flags that were raised. Let's not even call it flags. These are things that people are interested in, and I can hear WOTR clearly saying that, if your bandwidth allows it and somebody is willing to collaborate, technically it's certainly possible to overlay that feature also, but you will need people to work with you, is the response that I am hearing, whether it is about new geographies, new languages, or new kinds of features in this app. So given all of that, to me, it was very important that here is an NGO, a non-profit organization, which is saying that we have a useful app and farmers are responding positively to it. And there's this large community of people who, on the one hand, are sensitive to some of these issues and will not brush aside concerns around data tools, obviously, whether they are being handled well enough or not. The questions around liability, being extra cautious about what you're putting out to farmers, because any wrong advisory can mean a season's loss, if you like. Whereas you also presented the positive side, obviously. Somebody was able to harvest earlier than the brother and save the entire crop season. That possibility also exists, and that's what makes this exciting. Yeah, so I think there are some collaboration possibilities that I see. We have, people's email addresses when they registered. Not everyone turned up. We will share the recording with them. If you are all right with them sending you lots of mails and so on, with all of them, we'll share both your email addresses. And maybe some conversations will happen one-on-one. Maybe some conversations will again happen at a larger collaborative level. Let's attempt, seeing where this takes us. But thank you so much to both of you for, immediately offering to share about FarmPrecise, and it's been a very educative session. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. We
Thank you.
certainly look forward for working together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll end the call if no one has any other pressing issues to raise.